If you want to shishkebab your enemies, you have chosen the right video. I'll teach you everything I know about dual blades. First, let's look at the standard light attacks. If you aren't familiar with the A123 B123 notation, pause the video and read this. The A1 is your basic combo enabling light attack because you can link an uppercut. It's not as good at chasing dodges as B1, but if you manage to stagger with A1, you get rewarded with a high damage combo. I'll show you the combo later. Note that you can also ACCA with dual blades, just like the katana. The B1 doesn't let you link an uppercut, but it is insanely good at chasing your enemy, especially a running half-charge B1. Depending on how you time and space it, you can even catch 2 consecutive tap dodges somewhat consistently. Use B1 if you want to go for cheap damage or stagger in team fights. B2 is your go-to second light attack because it chases your enemy a bit. This makes your enemy want to dodge twice after you connect it, so they waste a lot of stamina. There is generally little reason to use A2, except if you want to hit an opponent who is knocked to the ground. In that case, B2 will miss, but A2 will hit. B3 is a fast third attack that can chase a hold dodge or even a tap dodge, except if your enemy times their iframe specifically to avoid it. B3 is hard or impossible to react parry unless you are facing a very low ping opponent. A3, on the other hand, connects a lot later, so any opponent who is trying to predict parry a B3 is going to get hit by your A3 after their parry. You can hold A3 a little bit and start running to perform a running A3 that connects even later and further. This also works with a splitter Souljade. The C LMB can chase a hold dodge. It is a roll but no iframe. The jump attack can catch both a hold dodge or a tap dodge unless your enemy specifically delays their dodge to iframe it. If your jump attack staggers the enemy, you get a guaranteed slam, so as a finisher, follow up with RMB before you land. If you stagger someone with the grapple attack, you can follow up with jump LMB and slam as well. This slam is not guaranteed. The enemy can dodge to break free, but enemies who try to go into blue focus will get punished. This is the recommended dual blades combo that works both on low ping and high ping. Fast B1 means you hold the A or D key while falling in your uppercut to cancel the landing animation. This makes your B1 come out faster. You can tell if you did it correctly by listening to your footsteps. You can only hear them if you failed and did the slow B1. You can extend this combo with ACCA. If you want, you can do the same combo without the B2 at the end. Instead, you hold dodge into A1, which can trap the enemy in the same combo again. This is a tech chase that punishes an enemy dodge. It works the same way as the longsword fake combo I showed in the combat guide. Low ping players can upgrade the dual blades combo. Replace the fast B1 with air LMB and fast A1. You have to hold W during the air LMB and then hold A or D to fall faster. This combo requires very precise inputs to be true. The dual blades LMB focus is special because you can run around with the directional keys while charging it, and you can hold it for a really long time. However, you lose your blue super armor that protects you from light attacks, either once you start moving or a little less than 1 second after the ding, until you release. Some enemies will try to predict parry this attack, so there are a few things you can do to exploit that. 1. You don't release it immediately once you are in range to land it. Run around with it a little longer and release it after their parry. 2. You can run at them and sidestep using A or D to fake a hold dodge cancel and release it. Some enemies will fall for the fake and let their guard down. 3. You can cancel into parrybait, just like in the hold checking guide. 4. You can release it against staggered or unaware opponents in team games. If you connect the LMB focus, your enemy will be staggered for a long time and your teammates can easily follow up. However, if you miss your attack or you see other enemies approaching, consider cancelling it immediately to avoid getting parried. After the LMB focus, you have multiple follow-up options. You can RMB to release a fast follow-up blue focus that is hard to react parry, or LMB to follow up with a light attack. Instead of the light attack, you can also jump LMB into slam. If you connect the LMB focus on a juggled or knockdown enemy, you can release the RMB focus follow-up and chase with hold shift B1, B2 for a lot of damage. The RMB focus can be charged twice and it doesn't lose its blue super armor during charge up, but you can't run around while holding it. The follow-up options of the RMB focus follow the same logic as with the LMB focus. But if you use RMB to blue focus follow-up, it releases much more slowly compared to before. This is easy to react parry. That's why there is an extra incentive to follow up your RMB focus with jump LMB slam instead. Dual blades have a relatively long deflection state after parry. In team games, it can be a good idea to delay the counter attack if you think you can parry multiple enemies in a row. The execution true combo is either counter attack, jump, air LMB, or counter attack, jump, slam, and then you reset. As a two-stage attack, the air LMB can be a safer option. If you miss the first hit due to terrain, melee auto-aim will give you another chance to hit the second attack. To do protected movement on dual blades, half charge RMB, hold dodge and repeat. When you're out of stamina, you can run with your LMB focus hold. In this state, grapples cannot stagger you, but light attacks including the grapple attacks can. With the running LMB focus hold, you can move while you're target locked by the bow Souljade. Dual blades have a smooth scale rush, a good tree climb LMB, and a favorable air walk. On dual blades, if you take damage from any weapon, your tab dodge turns into an out of combat tab dodge with higher range than regular tab dodge. These factors combined give the dual blades a solid movement. There is a silly and cheesy way of baiting parries with dual blades. Start charging a focus LMB, then hold control and quick tap W multiple times. This results in a fake attack that looks like the startup of the LMB focus. The splitter Souljade modifies your A3. Some people hate it because it's easy to parry, others like it for the extra damage and because you can run with it a little. Cavalry Bloom lets you run during your LMB focus. You can hit more than one enemy more easily and push people into corners or out of Kurumi circle, for example. It's harder to parry mid-action and it feels like it has some ghost reach, so it will connect a lot more than the standard LMB focus. Universe Slash deals a lot of damage, but you cannot safely release it in a hold check after you trick your enemy into parrying. It is simply too slow for that, and your enemy has two generous parry windows. But you can release it against staggered targets or transformers in ult. The sap works like any other sap in the game, simple yet powerful. Overall, the dual blades are considered a strong weapon in the current balance, both in solos and trios. Their biggest strength is their chasing ability. Enemies who respect this will often enter the hold checking minigame, and dual blade users who know how to take advantage of that can keep up the pressure. The dual blade's focus attack stagger is also powerful, especially if enemies are juggled or knocked down. Dual blades are sometimes regarded as a better katana minus the fancy combos. Many players treat Cavalry Bloom as a must play. Now you know everything I know about dual blades. This video is heavily based on a coaching session with NineOne, so special thanks and a huge shout out to him and what he does for the Naraka community. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. Consider watching my other Naraka guides, and good luck, have fun in your shishkebab adventures.